Hello everybody, what is going on? My name is Tom, and in today's video we're going to be taking you through the best endgame farming spot in the whole of Elden Ring. Part 1 is how to get the golden scarab talisman. It'll boost your runes. The second part of the video will be the farming spot. I'll put a timestamp here in the video if you want to skip because you've already got the golden scarab talisman. You have to go through a bit of parkouring to get down to it, and you have to do 2 bosses to get it, but if you've already got it, skip to that timestamp. And yeah, I'll see you there at that part of the video. But if you haven't got that, then it's okay. Daddy-o is going to get you through it. So step 1, you're going to go onto the map. You're going to zoom in this sort of desert area, and you're going to go over to this campsite of Grace, which is a good spot to get a good spawn. From here, you're then going to want to get your horse and make your way along from where that telescope marking type thing is, across the desert in the way of the branches. You want to jump over these branches. There's quite a lot of them, so there's a few different ones. Don't get confused. I did at one point in the video go for those first 2 branches that you can see hanging off the cliff. Don't go to them. It's actually the one to the left, the far side. I'll take you around to it in a moment. But there's a few different things around here to get distracted with. Don't fight anything. You don't have to. Tuck yourself in between the 2 rocks and you'll find this long tree branch. Go across it. Walk across it, or use your horse if you're brave. I wasn't brave, so I got off my horse and walked across the tree branch. Walk across until you get down into this cave. When you get down there should be a site of grace. You'll see it glowing in the distance, so just make your way towards it. This place is an absolute nightmare. It does rot damage to you, so anything that you can get before doing this that involves anything that can counteract rot damage or like poison damage, get that to help you get rid of the poison damage. If not, just do what I do, which is just smash your head against it for an hour or 2 until you get it done. This was a 3-hour video. Now you're watching a 14-minute video, so I did a lot of editing and a lot of time to get this content for you guys. So a like, subscribe, and comment would be appreciated. At this point, I'm getting everything I'm thinking I'm going to need before actually taking on this amazing tunnel. But yeah, pretty much hold B, run. If I'm on Xbox, so B is sprint for me. So whatever your sprint button is, whatever you got it mapped to, whatever console device you're playing on, sprint your way through this tunnel. Don't take the mick. This tunnel will not be kind to you. I died multiple times in it, and that rot thing is an absolute nightmare. So just hold B, drink potions, do everything you can to get rid of the scarlet rot damage, and just run. Just run. Literally, just hold B and sprint your way through the tunnel. It's a kind of a one-way system. You can't really miss anything. So just hold B and just run for your life. Don't bother fighting. Don't need to waste your healths or your heals or anything like that. Just hold B, sprint your way through this entire tunnel, Indiana Jones style, and just run like you're Mo Farah competing for a gold medal in the Olympics. Do not stop sprinting for anything. Just keep running and keep running until you get to the golden velvet sort of boss battle door that you'll see in a moment. Look how narrowly I missed them. That was like a moment in Star Wars with the TIE fighters and the X-Wings. And here we are at the golden gates of hell. We're going to go into here and get absolutely destroyed several times, but eventually, if you're like me, you'll get it right. You can use 1 summon, so make sure you use that. I put some lightning on my axe, and I had a talisman for lightning negation boosts or stuff, so I'm actually able to do better damage with lightning weapons. I do the windmill helicopter dance on this guy, and like you see, he is sent to Dickens in seconds. I'm even blown back by the effect of my axe in this clip. That's the first time I've watched that back since editing it. That was insane. I can't believe I killed that first guy that fast. I was stuck on this boss fight for several hours. So the fact that I did it that quick on my final go was just impressive. So that was just a moment of self-love, really. It was really good. So yeah, just do that. Just be good at the game. Just be really good. Kill the 2 bosses. Easy peasy. Just takes 10 hours. It's fine. And then you get the scarlet thing. Woo! Yeah, we got the scarab. Everyone happy. Woo! Celebration. Fantastic. We got the enemies killed and we grabbed the scarab. I slowed the video down just so you saw it pop up on the screen. And once you get that, you're going to get more runes every time you kill an enemy, which is great because who doesn't want to get more runes for their hard work? You definitely do. So make sure you get that early on, as close as you can to the start of the game, because then it'll just maximize your runes throughout your playthrough. And yeah, the scarlet rot is the worst thing about that cave, so don't worry about it. If you die to it several times, it's fine. Slam on your favourite music, maybe some different Tom Origins videos if I'm so lucky, and then pretty much just progress through it. Just get through that place, just sprint all the way through it, and just keep doing the boss fight, repetition, and eventually you'll get it done. And then once you've killed those 2 bosses and you've got the scarab of the talisman for the runes, then we're going to go to the next step, which is going to the endgame farming spot. Now I call it endgame because it gets more views, but it's not necessarily an endgame farming spot. It can be for any time in the game, depends how ballsy you want to be. If you want to take this challenge on early on, by all means, give it a go. Let me know in the comments if you were successful, and let me know what level you were by the time you reach this farming place down below, because it'd be interesting to see how good of a community we've got when it comes to playing games like Elden Ring. This is my very first Souls type game, so I was very new at it, and I've been very lucky to have a friend called Mr. Sith who does Mr. Sith YT YouTube, so go and check him out at the end of the video and give him a quick subscribe, because he's an Elden Ring god and he's helping me out a lot. He's my Wikipedia of a person, so big credit to him. Once you come to the Rose Church area, after you've been told you're maidenless several times, you come to the Rose Church area and you got to kill this weird sort of blood creature. It took me, again, several boss fights, but the power of editing, you don't have to see my struggles. You just get to see the end result where I look really good and I know what I'm doing. But I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just winging it. But I killed the guy and I come to the church and I speak to this guy again, the guy who bullied us at the start of the game for calling us lambkin and then taking away all of our maidens. And just pretty much he bullies you. Then you talk to him and you keep talking to him and he just babbles and babbles and babbles and you can just skip through his dialogue. Like I do. Like with every NPC. I just skip the dialogue. Just keep skipping through his conversations. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not very interested in you. You're very boring. Just give me what I need. There you go. You get the blood fingers. So now you're able to invade people's worlds. And that is a whole bag of lettuce in itself. You got to make sure your online is on. You got to make sure your matchmaking is on. And sometimes you have to open and close your game at this point in the tutorial, like I had to do. But once I opened and closed my game, I was able to invade people's worlds. You draw a little finger like that down on the ground. It'll let you spawn into enemies' worlds. And this is where the fun begins. You can either kill them or get killed by them. And I chose the other option. I chose to get killed by them. I let these guys practice on me. I tried to put up a bit of a fight, and then towards the end I kind of just give up and just let him kill me. And as long as you invade 3 people's worlds, now you can either go in and get killed, you can go in and get the kills, but as long as you've invaded 3 different times, they don't have to be 3 different people. I did invade this one guy several times. So as long as you just invade 3 times in a row in one game save, just keep invading 3 times in a row. Once you've done your 3rd invasion, whether you win or lose, doesn't matter. You just come back to the church afterwards once you've done your invasions, and like I say, just do 3 of them back to back, and then just come to this guy, speak to him. He'll talk to you. He'll give you a tissue. Yay! He'll give us toilet paper or a cloth or a silk thing. He gives us a cloth, and we have to go and dampen it in maiden's blood, which in itself is a pretty grim and very awkward side quest. He gives us this clean piece of silk fabric, and we have to take it to a different part of the map to drench it in maiden's blood. So it's this weird sort of structure where the blue marker is on my map. The blue marker doesn't make it very clear, but getting up there can be a bit of a haggle, so you just got to explore around that area, get different sites of grace, and try and get it up to this area. You'll know you're in the right place when your mind starts, or madness meter starts going up. It's that yellow one. I don't really know what madness does, but it does kill you horribly quick. So make sure you have a lot of heals. It kills your horse, it kills you. Make sure you got a lot of heals or anything that can negate that damage, really, so to save you. And I kind of went around it, or tried to go around it as best as I could, and kept healing myself along the way. There is no campsites of grace up this part, so you've got to be very careful. You can't take too many risks, because in a moment we will have to fight some enemies, but not yet. We're at a village, and once we come through this village, we can collect some loot along the way if you're cheeky like me, and you run past all those guys because you're too cool to fight them. You get on your horse, you ride up the hill, keep going, keep going, keep going, and once you get up to this very high church on this very high hill, you've got to fight for your life at this point, so make sure you got as many heals saved up as you can. A guy will invade you, he will try and kill you, and you have to just defend yourself and fight off him like an absolute boss. You do have to kill him, there's no way around him, unfortunately. You do have to kill him in order to go up into the church. Some people can get away with it. Risk, if you want to risk it, try and risk it. Try and get past him and go up into the church and let me know if you're successful. But I tried, and he chased me. He was persistent. He was like a pigeon coming after my chips, and I just couldn't leave him. And he just kept chasing me. So I had to get rid of him. I had to dispatch of him. And once I did dispatch of him, after he kept drinking his potions and pissing me off, once I did dispatch of him, and I had a pretty close call. This was the first time I did this because I had to, otherwise I'd have to keep going to that grace site, so I didn't want to do that. So I kept fighting for my life here, and eventually, like Decimus Maximus Meridius in Gladiator, I shouted, "Are you not entertained?" And I killed him, and I took all of his valuables. And then I went up into the church with my cloth, because we still need that sweet, sweet maiden blood, and we went inside this little room, and there's a site of grace here, which is lovely, great, yeah, fantastic. Thanks for giving us a site of grace after we've been killed nearly. So yeah, we got that, got some sacred tears from the statue, gone over to the corner, looted the maiden, taken all of her items, and got a bit of her blood just for good measure. Teleport again, go back to the priest at the Rose Church area. I went back to the boiling shack at this point, because that was my closest site of grace to the church. I don't know why you can't get a grace site in the church, it's very annoying. But I travelled back to the boiling shack. There is a guy there, by the way, bonus NPC. If you do kill him, you do get a pretty cool set of armour and weapons, so do kill him at the boiling shrimp shack. And I went over to the guy, spoke to him, gave him the maiden's blood, kept calling me lambkin, don't know what that means, so I didn't want to Google it. So I kept talking to him until he was satisfied. with me, and he took my hand at this moment, and we embraced as two brothers would over a lovely ceremonial thing of happiness. And he's shaking my hand, and he's touching my finger, and I do not agree with this, and he's pulling my finger, and he's pulled my finger off. Yes, he snaps your finger off, and he gives it you back, which is lovely of him, because it's very nice. If someone takes your finger, it's lovely for them to return it. He does take your finger, which is very annoying, but he gives it you back, so that's fine. And once he gives you your finger back, you have to keep talking to him, which is very rude of him. He should have just given me all my stuff straight away, instead of yanking my finger off, but he does. So I keep talking to him, and keep talking to him, and then he gives me this cool sigil thing. And then, once you have that cool sigil thing, whoa, I'm in the hood. Once we get that cool sigil thing, you are then able to transport yourself to a secret dimension. But before you do that, make sure you have a longbow and some arrows. This is going to be essential, otherwise you have to keep doing the back and forthing, which is just a bit annoying. So make sure you got yourself plenty of arrows, make sure you got a nice bow, or a longbow. I preferably go for a longbow over a crossbow, just more accurate. Get that, and once you've got your farming equipment ready, your shovels and stuff, you can use the sigil, spawn into this weird, horrible place, where you have to get on a horse and run for your life, because everything will one-tap you as if you have the health of a housefly. You have to sprint for your actual life like you are literally Forrest Gump running after Jedi, and you have to sprint with everything you've got, just to keep going, keep going, keep going. And at this point, I'm still searching and looting things, because I'm a madman. That's why. Just keep going through the river of jam until we get all the way to the very, very end, and touch grass, and then keep riding and keep going and keep powering through and keep going and keep going and keep going past all these things. Don't attack them, and there you go, you got your site of grace, which is a lovely little camp spot. So just grab that, and that's it. You have arrived. Hours and hours of blood, sweat and tears have given you the chance to be a little farming cretin and grab as much dirty blood ruins as possible. So now it's time. You grab your longbow, you come over to your cliff, you look down upon the devil pigeon, as I call it, which is this weird sort of creature down on that little blood ledge opposite you, and you want to aim in with your longbow, which took me a little while to get the gist of. I'm still trying to figure out how to hold it correctly. Eventually, I realised that you can get your little crosshair up, which is for holding LT if you're on Xbox, but if you're on another device, you'll have to look that up. But once you aim in with it, you'll hit him, he'll run to the cliff, you'll fall off the cliff, and if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you will grab yourself 13,000 juicy runes for killing him each time. So yeah, you get roughly 13,000 runes if you have the scarab equipped. You get about 13,000 runes a kill, and you can rinse and repeat. You can put music on, you can put a show on, you can share it with your friend, you can do as much as you want. You can put some of my videos on if you'd like, and you can literally just do this indefinitely. I did this at a level, I think I was a level 58, 59, and I was able to do it all the way up to a level 106 in the span of a short afternoon. So definitely worth it if you want to grind those runes. A lot of people are going to be like, why don't you just play the game? Well, of course you can play the game, but how you play the game and how I play the game is different. And that's fine. We both paid our 50 quid, and we can both play the game however we choose. And I choose to farm my sweet, sweet runes. So that's what I was doing. I was farming my runes for a few hours, and I had a good time, and I was grabbing up some runes, and eventually I got myself to the 1 million mark, which I was very, very proud of, because I've always wanted to be the proud owner of 1 million runes, and it helped me level up to 100 and something, like 106, 107. So I was very happy by that. So I got my runes and I started my farming. I got my little music on. I was like, boom, 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 boom. I'll be playing music right now, but copyright's an absolute bitch on YouTube, so I can't chance it. So just etc. And you can grab these flowers as well. I mean, there's cool little flowers. You can grab them, and they can sell for a few thousand. I mean, they're next to nothing, but it's fun. Grab them, make them part of your farming routine, and just farm that bird over and over again. As you can see, I've edited it out for you, so you can see me eventually get to my 1 million mark in the bottom right-hand corner. We're nearly there, boys. We're nearly there. We've been farming for hours at this point. My fingers are bleeding. My eyeballs are burning. I'm sweating through my t-shirt. And now we are so close. We are so close to getting the touch grass achievement. I'm joking. There's no such thing. But we were close. We were close to getting our 1 million runes, and eventually we do. We smashed the 1 million mile point, and I'm really happy. And I get this cool screenshot, which is now my new wallpaper on my Xbox. Oh, look at that. Look at the stars behind me. I'm a god. And thank you for watching. So if you did enjoy and you do like this farming spot, then please leave a like, subscribe for more, ding dong the notification bell. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. And if you could do anything to help us out, that would be greatly appreciated. So smash that like button with your forehead several times, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye for now. Bye 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 bye. I love you all. Peace.